Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to your boy Nick, HOUTX Trader, with another market overview. I've been gone, as you guys know, for a few days, so I'm just now getting back into it. So if you are a normal subscriber to the channel and you're like, what the hell happened, dude? It's just because I was going out of town for a couple of days. So I'm back on it now, and then I have to go back out of town. But don't worry about that. Anyways, this is for training purposes only. This is not financial advice. If you need financial advice, please go see a financial planner. So we're going to get into the markets today. So let's look at see what happened and let's see what we could do about it. So here we are on the Goldie. Let's restart, reset. Okay, here we go on Goldie. All right, guys. So if you see, today's Wednesday. So I guess it was Tuesday yesterday. We had a perfect setup on what my strategy would have been. Fib top to bottom, liquidity, 78 rejection, and then it just sank. So congratulations to all the people out there who caught that trade. I, however, did not catch the trade because I was trying to trade from my phone and I drew my fib wrong and I missed it by literally a half a pip. It is what it is. So where are we at now? Okay, so we sank down. We cleared out all of this liquidity that was in this box right here, right? So that is now adios amigos gonzo. The market has taken that out. But if we look at a higher time frame, what were we really doing? We're really pulling a fib from here at this bottom and targeting the high here to there. And then all of this in between is just a retracement back down to our buy zone, right? So one leg, two leg, and now if you look at this, you could say that's the first leg, the second leg. This did not break, and there's your third leg for now a reversal to come back up and get into our sell zone up here, right? So that's what the plan we're playing. That's what we're trying to do now. So what we're gonna do is just clean up a little bit, clean up, as my daughter says, clean up, clean up. Okay, clean up this, clean up this. I'm not too worried about that trend line. And we'll not worry about this trend line and not worry about that. Okay, so here we are. Here is Goldie on the 2 hour on a higher time frame. We're in our buy zone. So this would be an area where you start to look for internal breakup structures and turnaround. Now you'll see that on the 2 hour we are oversold and we were divergent. So if we come in a little bit closer, you can see that we did have a line coming down, and on the RSI at the exact same time it was coming up. So we are divergent, okay, which is signaling to us this is ready to turn around. Okay, so how do we get into the trade? So we come to the 1 hour, okay, and I start to mark off these areas. Let's go a little bit smaller to 30 if we can see this, and let's zoom in a little bit. So here's the range. Before it was setting up all this area, and this is now setting up liquidity. All right. So let's look at this. You have these top wicks. Wicks, look at all the sells. Sell here, sell here, sell, 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 sell. And then what did the market do? We yanked right through them and knocked all those people out. So that is telling us, it's giving us an indication that perhaps, maybe the buyers are about to step in and take this back up the opposite direction after all these sellers have had their fun. So what happened? Once it cleared out, which is the 88.6 in the higher time frame, once it came and cleared this out, it then came and took out this liquidity. So what do I want to see now? This is kind of the strategy. It's basically what we're looking for. On the higher time frame, we do have a divergent, right? So what I want to see now is it's settled. It came up. It's respecting this 236 area, not perfectly, but it's an area. I want to see it come down, hit all of these, take out all this liquidity, find some support in this zone around here, and then buy up. So what am I going to do? There's the top. There's the fib from there to there. This is what I'm going to do right here. And knowing that that fib the other day was a little bit crazy, I might just come just a little bit above the 78.6. And my stop loss is always 1.1. And that's what I'm looking at. And we want to take this at least to 61.8. But really, guys, I see we can get rid of this liquidity box. We don't need that no more. Really, if you look at this bottom wick, that could be the TP there, or this entire area was kind of the last bit of buys. So I mean, just take your TP in here somewhere and leave a runner in case this thing wants to go all the way back up to the top. Um, yeah, so that's my plan. Disclaimer, uh, I'll get into the group and go over. I'll send out a Zoom link later on and go over the trade from today. We saw this earlier this morning, and on the group call with the guys I trade with, we saw this low, we saw it push up, and I said, look, we really want this to break above and then come down, give us a retest and go. And it wasn't doing it. As you see, it kept holding this. So we decided to take entries right here off of this fib, thinking that's what's going to happen, but it didn't happen. Okay, guys. So we drew a fib from here to there. All right, and we got stop lossed out right there. So we would have taken the entries right around this area, and our stop loss would have been right there, and we got stop lossed out. Now, this is a very important lesson because right after this happened, I was kicking myself in the ass. Why? Because there's no reason that I should be risking a full percentage or a full 2% on this type of trade. Because if we come back out to the hour time frame and reset this chart, just look at how small. Let me delete this. Look at how small of an area this is. I mean, we're really putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of percentage on this little ass consolidation block, which is just retarded. Like, we don't need to put that much money in this type of an area. Now, if this was a much bigger fib, let's say we come out to the 2 hour, right? And we're playing this, and we would have taken a buy here, right? On the 88, and we would have had the stop loss down here. That's a 1 or 2 point. That's a lot of pips. That is a good trade, and you can risk 1 to 2 points, 2 percentage on a stop loss that's this big, because then you can play a trade that's like up to here and up to here, right? You could have it makes more sense to play a higher risk when you zoom out. I was just so zoomed in this morning that there's no reason I should be taking that large and that risky of a trade in the middle of this consolidation, especially when it hadn't broken the highs yet, especially when it hadn't fully given us the signal that, hey, maybe the buyers are here. That's internal structure. It broke, and that's my mistake. Um, and let's be absolutely honest, because I wasn't home last night. I didn't go through my nightly routine. I didn't make my video. I did not mark up my chart. I woke up in the morning. I did my morning routine. I jumped on a Zoom with the guys, and I thought I could take a trade, and I was wrong. I got humbled, and that just goes to prove that you have to do what you need to do. You have to do the right things. You have to do the right strategy. You have to do your preparedness in the way that you know you're supposed to do it. And if you don't, and if you skip out, you don't do your night routine, you don't do your morning routine, you don't need to trade, because you're going to end up making mistakes like I did. And I paid for it today. Straight up paid for it. Okay, that's enough on that. So therefore, I'm doing my nightly routine. As you guys can see, my nightly routine is to mark up these charts, start on a higher time frame, and figure out what the hell's going on. So on this particular one, we obviously have a huge sell-off, and we're now creating a three drive up. I'd like to see this go up a little bit higher for that second leg, and then when then we're up here, and then we can look for the turnaround. All right, so what do? We missed this move, which is no big deal. It's kind of a double bottom if you look, right? Like, yeah, it went a little bit below, but if you had your fib from there to there, top to bottom, you would have seen it did not hit your stop loss. I wasn't trading 30 after this tank down like that. It was just way too aggressive, and there's no way I would have pulled the trade right there, right then. I would have waited, and like I did, I didn't trade it. I don't want to trade against that much momentum. But now that it's broken internal structure, give us a pullback. If we come down to the 1 hour, and let's just look a little bit, maybe we can sharpen our pencil up there to there. Okay, what did it do? Did it touch? Yeah, it hit the 50 and then it shot off. So that fib's complete. So then the next fib, and again, I don't like this. This isn't high enough for me. I don't like that fib. So what we're gonna do then, because I just don't like the way it looks, I'm gonna drag this top up. Even though that first fib, this one here, is technically a completed fib, I just I think basically what I'm trying to say is I'm not willing to use this as the new bottom. All right. I'm not going to play this 78, 88.6. I'm not playing that. I just don't like that. I don't like the way it did this. It's just not me. So I'm going to do this fib. Okay. And if I'm going to play this trade, then I'm going to play this trade like this. All right. And then I'm going to put my stop loss right there. And then my TP would then be the 61.8 on that overall move, which is right into this last order block before this thing popped off. I mean, this is the last bit of sells. This is the sideways. So technically, if you want to get super narrow, that's the last order block right there that led to that gigantic sell off. If you want to be more liberal about it, you could say that whole thing right there. But anyways, that's the bottom. So maybe I target a TP like right there, a few pips short of it. That way I know I get filled, whatnot. So what I think also is this would just be setting up liquidity, right? See this big wick right at the 618, and maybe that's perhaps letting me know that this fib is in the right move, the right spot. It comes up. What happens? 50% goes sideways. It pops off. It respects the 236. It wicks it, but it closes below right on the 236, comes down, respects the 618, hits it perfectly, comes back up, and now it's right at the 236, and it's giving us a little wick right here, right? So let this screw around, see if we can catch a dip to the 886 and then pop off. That's the only trade that I see until we get back up into this area. And then again, if it does get back up into this area, let's wait for some sort of internal break structure, and then we can play it that way. We can also look for TPs. Like, for example, if this is a bottom to top, our 61.8 TP there. So we already have one TP giving us a confluence that we can be selling off of this order block up there. So right now for dirty 30, I'd wait for this and then I'd pop back off again. Right now, the 1 hour, we're in the middle of no man's land. So there's no trade here. We'd want to get this thing back into the oversold and then pop off. And then we're going to go. Nasdaq, I'm guessing. So I haven't touched this chart since last week, and all these fibs and all these extensions that I was talking about last week, I couldn't believe. I did take that trade and I lost it. It's just a pure gamble. That's why I told everyone that I was trading with, do not take that trade because it would just be screwing around. So it is what it is. So where are we at now? So here was the liquidity. Here was the bottom, and it held it. Surprisingly, I thought it would break it, but that's another story. It gave us a double bottom. I mean, that's basically what a top and bottom with this other wick being so close. I figured it would have at least taken that wick out, but it didn't. It is what it is. So we're again we're stuck in the exact same play. These candles look the exact same as US 30. Um, it did come down. Damn, I mean it's a good double bottom. If you play double bottoms, that was a fucking banger. So the only thing we could do now then is to do the same fib. There, top to bottom. All right. And we're going to enter at the 88.6. And then this bigger fib, the 88.6 is here. I mean, these kind of line up. This 88.6 that goes to retest and the 78.6 kind of line up right there. So, I mean, it's worth a shot in here. And then again, you would just double up on these two. I mean, it's kind of crazy how these fibs line up like that because those are two totally different fibs, two totally different sizes. If the extension of this 236 matches up with that one, this lines up with 38 too. I mean, these lines are almost perfect. I mean, that just lets you know that these fib levels, dude, are pretty dialed, man. I mean, the confluences. I mean, they're only off by like a pip or two. So yeah, let's just do that. And if it doesn't, and for some reason this thing pops up, but right now we're looking for this as plan A here up. And if we have a plan B, I mean, this is the first leg. That's a second leg. It's going to have to come down to give us a third leg. All right. We can also see that there's an order block sitting in here. And then we also have this breaker. We have this breaker candle, hissing candle. We have this area here on the 1 hour. So with all of those things, if this thing does pop off, doesn't give us a retracement for a long, then we can look for shorts right in this area. Let's see if we can get a short off this breaker block right there. And then we would fib. Let me delete. I don't want to delete the fib. Let me just stack and use another one. So we'll fib here, top to bottom. All right. And then that would be our stop loss. And this breaker block, if we draw a horizontal line, is right between our 70 and our 88.6. So that's like a legit trade right there. Right? So there's our breaker block there. So that's our plan B. If it pushes up, we'll aim for this sell zone on that sell fib right there. All right. Which has also got the breaker block right into it. It's, you guys play support resistance. That is support and it broke through. We'll see if we can play it as resistance. There is an order block sitting right there, which would be liquidity. There's some buys here that the market will want to come out and negate before it continues to sell off. There's also these buys that are sitting up here, right? There's buys there that need to get hit, or at least allow people to get out of those trades. These buys right there. So it's either plan A, it comes down, lets us in, it takes it back up, or it's plan B, it goes up from here. We have no retracement, and then we short the market, and we continue to see if we can get um, a much better, sell off for a ways. But this is a very bullish market overall. We come back out, let's say the 12-hour, the daily. Um, obviously we're going to the moon, right? But one of these days it's going to crash through and break this trend. Hopefully we're going to sell when it does. And then adios amigos, we're going to the bank and buying a new Lambo. Just joking, we're not doing that. But same thing. I mean, if you strip away all this stuff, look at that candle. That's a no joke. I mean, that candle is bigger than this one, bigger than any of these. It's probably a little bit bigger than this last one, right? And where's the last time you saw a strong daily candle like that? I mean, that's last time it was a strong daily candle, we're in a downward trend. So even this whole upward trend, we haven't had but one strong daily candle. And then unfortunately just it got engulfed by the other candles. Excuse me, those are 12-hour candles, excuse me. Um yeah, this candle looks about the same size as that one. So, it is what it is. If we put the drawings back on here, uh, I know there's a lot of buys or trend line guys. Let's say we'll just start it from here into there. And if we come down, guess what, guys? It broke. Holy shit, it broke trend. I just noticed that. Well, that would have been a hell of an entry. Choo! But it's all good. We can hopefully come up here. And look, guys, if this comes back to our TP, right, that's retesting the trend line. Did we not just say that this would be? I mean, does that also make sense? Like, look, here's the last order block, right? I can't remember what time frame we were on. We saw the kissing candles. Was it? No, that was on Nas. Excuse me. But anyway, same thing. Break, retest the trend line in this area. Adios, amigos. Sell to the floor. And then that makes me think, where is this trend line at? Okay, there it is. Let's just. Okay, it's hard to delete all this stuff, but there it is. We come down to the 1 hour. So here's the trend line down here below. We haven't broke it yet. So that's all good. There's our plans. AB 30. I don't see I only see an A, which is again real quick here to there. I don't see a B just because I mean the alternative B would be way up here and then down, right? Uh but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, this is much easier of a trade down and up as opposed to up. But again, if that does happen, we'll adjust accordingly. And the only thing here is to buy because we're at a structural support area and we're looking to continue this upward trend. And now that's done screwing around and coming all the way down. Let's get into a buy and see if we can't hold this thing up all the way up to the 2,120 area, 21,114, something like that. Let's see if we can't catch us a nice banger here, which I would love to see. All right, guys, that's it. I'm not going over any pairs. I'm not even wasting my time on those pairs right now. I'm just banging these three. So if you guys please please subscribe. Sorry, I had my hat on, so you can't see my face the whole time. And you guys, I'm ugly anyways. It doesn't matter, right? But let me adjust this camera, dude. What the hell? Okay. All right, guys, please subscribe. Remember, I'm not trading, I'm not selling courses, I'm not selling signals, I'm not doing none of that crap. The only way I'm just doing this for you guys. And if we get enough followers, we get enough watches, we get enough likes, we get enough community, YouTube will pay me. I don't need y'all's money. You know what I'm saying? Let's build something together. And you guys help me out by liking and subscribing. I really appreciate that. Remember, this is for training, not financial advice. Thank y'all very much. If you have comments, please drop them in the chat. If you have a question about a certain strategy or certain terminology, I'll do my best to answer those and or make a video just for you explaining that. Because if you have a question, so does someone else. All right. All right, guys. Have a good night and good luck trading tomorrow.